30 seconds and counting. The guidance system will go in.
Hello friends, welcome to Studio Classroom Worldwide. I hope your New Year holiday has been fun and exciting. Thanks for joining us today. It's the last lesson of the month and it's called Breaking the Ice. This title also serves as an English idiom and it means to help relax a tense or formal situation. When are people tense? Often when they're meeting others for the first time. I think Tuxedo might have this problem too. Who's Tuxedo? But before we get into the story, let's review two key words, tuxedo and shove. Tuxedo is actually something you wear, as in Robert wore a black tuxedo on his wedding day. But we'll find out later, that's the name of a penguin as well. The next word is shove, as in the lady gave me a shove and pushed me out of the way. Okay, now let's begin the reading. We're on page 48 in line 1. Join us now for this.
Breaking the ice. The new girl on the block. Cold winds blew across the snow and ice, but Tuxedo the penguin didn't notice. He was too busy noticing something else. "Wow," he sighed. "Who's that pretty penguin over there on the ice?" he asked. "Her?" said his pal, Pen. "I think she's new on the block. Why don't you go over and break the ice?" "I can't," said Tuxedo. "You know how I'm afraid of girls." "Yes," said Pen. "You're afraid of everything. But give it a try. Introduce yourself. You can do it." "But I'm afraid," said Tuxedo. "What if I slip up?" "You won't," said Pen. "Just keep cool." And he gave Tuxedo a big shove across the ice. Tuxedo slid right in front of the new girl. Then he froze up. "Oh," said the surprised little penguin. "Who are you?" she asked.
Hi friends, I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Esther, and today we have a very special story for you about penguins who are having fun and trying to meet a girl.
That's right. These penguins are animals that live in very cold weather and their bodies are black and white.
And this story is called Breaking the Ice. Breaking the ice is a popular idiom. If you are in a situation where you are meeting new people, then you might say or do something to make yourself less shy or nervous. For example, if I've never met Chelsea and I want to break the ice, then I might reach out my hand and say, "Hi Chelsea, nice to meet you. I am breaking the ice."
That's right. So let's start by looking at our story. Our story starts off, cold winds blew across the snow and ice. Remember, penguins live in very cold weather where there would be snow and ice. Now, in our next line, we are introduced to our main character. His name is Tuxedo. It says, but Tuxedo the penguin didn't notice. Now, a tuxedo is an article of clothing or an outfit that a male wears. It's very dressy and usually has a black jacket, a white shirt, black pants, and a black bow tie. Now, if you can imagine, this looks very similar to what a penguin looks like in all of his black and white.
That's right. And if you've ever been to a concert, the person who is conducting the concert usually wears a tuxedo. Often, tuxedos have a tail, so they are very, very formal suits that men wear. So it's kind of cute that this penguin, our main character, his name is Tuxedo. But as we start the story, he is very busy noticing something. What is he noticing?
Well, our friend Tuxedo is noticing a very pretty penguin over there. He looks over and sees a girl penguin who he thinks is very pretty.
So he can't help it, but he sighs, wow, who's that pretty penguin over there on the ice? And this is kind of cute because penguins live in very cold places and they live close to the ocean on ice, so we call it breaking the ice. He wants to break the ice. He wants to meet this new female penguin.
That's right, and Tuxedo's good friend Pen is standing right next to him and tells Tuxedo that this pretty penguin is the new girl on the block. Now that is a phrase that we use to mean this is someone new who's maybe just moved to our neighborhood or they're new in town. So the new girl on the block is someone who is brand new to the area.
That's right. And here, this new on the block also has another meaning because they are standing on blocks or sections of ice. So she's new on the block, she's new to this area, and she's also new because they've never seen her before.
Now, sometimes when we meet new people, we are a little bit nervous at first to break the ice. Such is the case with Tuxedo. He's very nervous to go talk to this new girl. He says, I can't. And he says, I'm very afraid of girls. He's very shy and he has a hard time taking the first step to say hello. But his good friend Pen encourages him to go ahead and say hello to the new girl.
Yes, Pen is a true friend because he believes in him and he encourages him. In fact, he says, yes, you are afraid of everything, but give it a try. Introduce yourself. You can do it. I think it means so much when our friends believe in us and tell us that we can do it. Don't be afraid to try. You can do it.
Absolutely, Esther. Now let's get back to the story. He is afraid and he says to his friend Pen, but what if I slip up? Now, this term, slip up, is a phrasal verb and it means to make a mistake. What if I make a mistake when I go introduce myself to this pretty penguin? Then I'll feel embarrassed. But his friend Pen says, don't worry, just keep cool. What does that phrase, keep cool, mean, Esther?
Well, if you tell someone or something to keep cool, you tell them not to be nervous, not to be shy, not to be afraid. For example, if we have to sing for a big group of people and I'm very nervous, then maybe you'll tell me, Esther, keep cool, be calm, don't be afraid. So, what does Pen do? I like what he does. He gives Tuxedo a big shove across the ice. And a shove is a very strong push because Tuxedo is too afraid. So what happens?
That's right. So Pen pushes Tuxedo right across the ice and he slides right in front of the new girl. And once he's right in front of the new girl, he freezes up. The text says, then he froze up. Now that term, froze up, means that he stopped. He couldn't move because he was so nervous. He froze up.
So the girl says, oh, and she's very surprised. Who are you? Well, let's take a break. Let's go to the chat room now and we'll find out more about the story.
Welcome to the chat room. I'm Ken.
And I'm Doris. And we have a new article today, Breaking the Ice. And it's about the new girl on the block.
The new girl on the block. Doris, why does that phrase sound familiar to me?
Because you're thinking of the phrase new kid on the block.
Oh, new kid on the block.
That's right. A new kid on the block refers to a new arrival in an area or in a group of young friends.
So I might say when Johnny's parents moved into the neighborhood, Johnny became the new kid on the block?
That's a good example.
New kid on the block 是一个惯用语 ，block 是街区，也就是两条马路之间的那一排建筑物，那就是一个 block。那在这里呢 ，block 是指你住的那个街区。 如果有一家人从外地搬到你住的 block， 那一家的孩子就是 the new kid on the block。而当作惯用语 the new kid on the block 指的是一个刚来的新手或者菜鸟。But you know, Doris, I was actually thinking new kids on the block, plural.
Oh, in that case, then you were thinking about the popular boy band in the late 80s and the early 90s.
Boy band?
That's right. A boy band is a pop group featuring several young male singers. Many teenage girls really like boy bands.
Oh, like the Backstreet Boys.
Yes, they were a famous boy band in the 90s. Another popular one was the Jackson 5.
6年级生应该会记得 New Kids on the Block 街头顽童合唱团，这是在90年代初期的一个 boy band 男孩乐团。除了 New Kids on the Block， 还有 Backstreet Boys 跟早期的 Jackson 5， 这些都是轰动一时的 boy bands。
Well, it's time for a break. Studio Classroom. We'll be right back.